What's up, everyone? Welcome. Super excited to be here this week. Uh, I was going to stream last week, had to cancel last minute, but we're back today, and welcome. It's one of my favorite parts of the week for sure. Let's see. Today, as you can see by the title of the stream, I'm making a chili cheese dog French bread pizza. Chili cheese dog French bread pizza. I am super excited to try it out. It's a fever dream of an idea that I had, and yeah, I'm ready to get started. I have my pot going here. As always, love you chiming in. Love hearing your thoughts, your questions, your ideas, and one time that I need feedback in this recipe is if there should be beans or not in the chili, because like a chili dog doesn't always have beans. So we're gonna figure that out. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick and get going. So yeah. Also, let me know if you can hear me okay, all that usual stuff. What's up, Rich? What's up, Gina? Good to see you all. Welcome. This is great. This is great. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna make the chili first and go from there. Ow, hot pan. So I'm just gonna get the beef started in here, and then I'm gonna chop some veggies and just start adding them in. And I'll move the camera over to the pan later on, but for now I think it's good on the veggies. So let me know, yeah, how's your week going? All that good stuff. I talked to Rich on Monday, so it's been a few days. How do you like making your chili? Do you ever make, Rich probably never made like chili for a hot dog specifically. Yep, busy week. I keep thinking that next week things won't be as busy. I've been thinking that for like, I don't know, 75 weeks now, maybe. Rich, didn't you make chili all the time before? Why haven't you made it in a while? Chicken chili, yeah. I have been enjoying a white chili lately. Now, sometimes when I'm cooking, I care a little more about like sear the meat, take the meat out, sear the veggies, all that stuff. And other times, I don't really care that much at all. Especially, in my opinion, with like a hot dog focused chili. That's when sometimes it doesn't matter, like especially at a restaurant, like a traditional coney chili will really just be like everything's put in the pot and you stir it up and you go from there. Oh yeah, I forgot you were saying you get a lot more heartburn lately. So that makes sense. So for the base of this, I'm doing onion, poblano, and jalapeno. And sometimes, again, like, you know, cooking, you kind of just do how you feel in the moment, in my opinion. And sometimes you want a chunky chili, and sometimes you want a fine chili. When you're dealing with a hot dog, in my opinion, you want like a fine chili. Yeah, that makes sense. Rich, did the white chili not give you heartburn? I know you said it's more focused on like tomatoes. For me, I feel like it's like sugar, too much sugar, and like especially cookies and cake and stuff give me heartburn. That's the poblano in there. Just gonna keep cooking, smashing everything up, and we'll do this phase for a while. Like I'm not gonna add liquid until this is like really cooked down and browned up a bit and stuff. Yeah, I need to. I haven't had made or had a white chili in a while. Rich, you not complaining? Wow, look at this growth. So I'm guessing, I mentioned this poll already, but I'm guessing based on who's in the chat right now. Should I put beans in this or not put beans in it? And I'm guessing that you're both gonna say no beans. But anyone else who might be here might also have a bean opinion. No beans. I feel like jalapenos are like so mild now. It's crazy. If I was putting like two big jalapenos like this in, even like what 5 years ago, I feel like it would be super spicy. Light beans. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, there's always purists about every type of food. I talk to them every day on Facebook usually. It's always fun. All right, yeah, this is coming along, but it is like my little tabletop burner here sometimes could use some help. And let's see what's next. Have some garlic here. So I had this idea. I was on Pinterest actually and saw French bread pizza on there. And it's kind of funny because I feel like I hadn't had French bread pizza in a while since I was pretty young. I used to eat the frozen kind every day. It's kind of also, this is a whole tangent on a tangent. It's funny to me that French bread pizza became a freezer staple when it's literally so easy to make at home. And as a kid, you could probably you can make it easily, put it in the toaster oven. But my second comment is I hadn't made French bread pizza in a while, but now me and Georgina kind of like became obsessed with it and made it a handful of times. Because again, it's easy to make and it's delicious. And like, if you buy good bakery bread, this is a good question, and I'll highlight it, but it's not going to highlight the whole thing. Yes, I think you can get away with a decent chili in a half hour, but I think like I'm making this right now kind of for the stream, and if I when I make the recipe tomorrow to test the recipe to post it on Tuesday, I will definitely let it cook a little longer. Why are you one of those one clovers? It took me like 3 times reading that comment to to figure out what what that meant. And so I'm just like doing the thin slice of this garlic instead of the dice because to me, again, if it's like cooking for a while, the thin slice is a little better. Yeah, I think for chili, you really want to hit it with a lot of garlic. But this was weird. Like before the stream, I was cutting the garlic and it was like kind of stressing me out because you ever get those garlic bulbs and like the little cloves are so small. You think you're doing bigger cloves, and every time you cut it, it's like actually 3 cloves in there. You have to peel each clove, like it's terrible. So that added like 15 minutes to my whole prep, just peeling the garlic. But I'm glad I got to actually do it instead of doing it live, because that would have not been great. All right, I'm gonna give the meat like a little bit longer before I actually add that garlic, and we can check in on it right here. It's getting there. It's so annoying. Why does this perfectly focus when I put the bread here? All right, and also like you really want this smashed up really well so that there's not like bigger chunks of meat, and that way it's gonna coat the French bread pizza really well. We're kind of envisioning this chili as like a sauce since we're making a pizza, right? So. And because the garlic's a little chunky, like sometimes I get worried about burning garlic. Because the temperature we're working at here and the chunkiness of the garlic, I'm fine to put it in now and let it go in the saute phase a little longer. Yes, I did. Actually, people now say like you shouldn't be peppering stuff until later, but I don't know how much I agree with that. Because I guess the pepper can burn and change flavors a little bit. Backseat cooking over here. Just like in real life, Rich, when you stand over the stove, checking what I put in it. I am going to add a little more salt right now, and the pepper too. All right, so what else is going in this chili? Crushed tomatoes, a chicken stock cube and some water, and a bunch of spices. And still on the fence about beans. And I forgot to get my chicken stock cube, so I'm just gonna grab it right here. And some water for the about a cup of water. I'm just filling up from the fridge right here. Cool. So what was I saying? I had the idea because I saw a Pinterest thing that had a really nice like overhead shot of a French bread pizza. And in my head, I was just like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like full hot dogs going up and down the whole pizza? Wouldn't it be cool? Like that's, you know, that's how I get a lot of my ideas. Just a little wouldn't it be cool inspiration. So. Do you guys use a lot of like bouillon and stuff, or do you typically do more of like a? I used to always just buy stock, or obviously make it like we have some in the freezer. And then I started doing better than bouillon, the like paste, and I did start to really like kind of having it always on hand and having it kind of like not go bad and just sitting there in the fridge. And then I finally graduated to just using the cube sometimes when I feel like it. Now I have the liquids here that I'm going to add to the chili soon, but I also have all these spices, and in my opinion, some of the spices will be better if I'm adding them to the saute phase, because what happens there is like they're going to wake up a little bit from sitting in the cabinet for a while, and they're also going to like the oil in the pan is what makes everything flavorful in the chili. So the spices, if they get into the oil, they're gonna like flavor the whole chili better than if they just simmer in the tomatoes. Just trying to get this to a better place to focus a little bit. That seems better. Chicken, beef, and veggie, what? Better than bouillon, Rich? All right, so for spices that I'm going to put in now versus later, I have oregano later, cinnamon later, allspice later. I have chipotle now, smoked paprika now. No, later. We'll do that later. Ancho chili now, chili powder now, and I did not grab the cumin or coriander, and those will be now spice too. So let me just grab that. Here. Got them. All right, so we have like half now, half later. Not the cubes. Canned tomatoes, what do you mean needing to air out? I just opened it because I had nothing to do at that time. It doesn't need to breathe. No vanilla in this one. That's a real throwback to one of the original Food in My Beard blog posts. Rich made a vanilla chili. I said cinnamon and allspice might be what you're thinking of. I have some chipotle right here, coriander. All right. Now, those spices, they're just waking up a little bit in the oil. They're blooming. And I have some chipotle in the fridge here, this kind of chipotle. I've been loving getting this in a jar instead of a can. I feel like the can, I use it and then I put it in like a Tupperware thing and then I forget about it or throw it away. Having the jar has helped me have it on hand all the time and just be able to use it when I want and not feel like, oh, I gotta open the whole can just to use one Chipotle. And yes, Rich, it does smell very good right now. So I'm gonna add water and bouillon. Just breaking it a little, it'll break the rest of the way of its own. And then I'm gonna add the can of tomatoes. And again, sometimes I want chunky, sometimes I want more smooth. Today, with the hot dog application, we're going a little more smooth. Now I'm gonna add the chipotle from the jar here, like 2 tablespoons maybe. And then some of the after spices here. Some of the spices are floating in the air a little bit there. Great. Excuse me, thank you. All right, what are the after? Smoked paprika. Oregano. We have fresh oregano growing on the porch I should have grabbed. A dash of cinnamon, and the same of allspice. Just enough that you kind of like are wondering, what's that flavor? And this is coming along nice. All right, getting better with the food visuals here. Important. Now, little honey. And I think that's it. About 2 tablespoons there maybe. Yeah, exactly, Rich. It's like a pizza sauce chili kind of combination. All right, so I'm gonna move this over so that it can be on like a little more powerful burner for a few minutes. I need to figure out how to make this be able to show the whole comment a little better there. Baby steps. Light beans. Yeah. No, that's why I was having trouble. Like you wouldn't know as much, Rich, because I know you don't really like hot dogs that much. But not only will this be like the texture of a meaty tomato sauce, but it also like a hot dog chili is a little more thin usually. Got to turn the oven on too. And this is simmering up nice. I put the oven pretty high, 475 for now because I only want it to be in there for like 10 minutes. The sauce is already hot and I just want it to like crisp up around the edges. So let's clear out my space a little bit here. And then I'm gonna grate the cheese and got the hot dogs over here and we're good to go. Oh, while I'm here, actually, I'm gonna slice a few serrano peppers, and that's just gonna be for like a garnish. I can do that later. The cheese first. So I just have mozzarella and cheddar. And you can definitely use the bag of cheese for this. Sometimes there's times where I don't think you should use a bag, but it's a French bread pizza. I think the bag is fine. So these are the 8-ounce blocks of cheese. So I'm gonna do half. I had half of the mozzarella, and I'm gonna do half of the cheddar. When should you not use the bag? If you're making a cheese sauce, you definitely shouldn't use the bag. In the bag is usually like a cornstarch or some similar, what they call an anti-caking agent. So that way, if it gets like a little warmer or something, it doesn't all just like gloop together in one clump. And sometimes because of that, if for me, I will use the bag of cheese less because like if I'm trying to get a nice picture, sometimes you make nachos and the cheese like melted, but it's still you can still weirdly see like the lines of cheese. So if you really want a nice, more like even melting, that's when you definitely want to grate the cheese yourself. Cheese is good, everyone. Don't worry. The chili is looking nice. Looking nice. So I got the old Publix bread here. And I'm not gonna go too overboard about what I'm making today. I'm gonna do like a segment. Frida can't eat cheese anymore. I know, it's so sad. She is starving. You'd be her best friend. She had treats. She's always starving. All right, here we go. Our French bread pizza. Um, I'm gonna pull a little of the bread out so we can really load it up. And I also need to grab a pan right now. I'm realizing I forgot to get my beer before I started streaming, so I don't know what I was thinking, guys. So I'm gonna just take a little out here. Top one. I have a helper getting me a beer now. Perfect. Yep. It's Frida. Thank you. Smells very good. Smells very good. Looks good too. So yeah, I'm not taking a ton out, and you have to be careful here that you don't take too much out. And now I'm also thinking visually how I want these to be. Because I want you to see the chili and the hot dog. Sometimes when I make a pizza, all you can see is the cheese because like the toppings are under. So maybe I'll mix the cheese in with the chili a little bit and then still put the hot dogs on top. And then I'm gonna do a sour cream sauce and some serrano peppers and chives on top. So this is gonna be great. And this is a stout called Slay the Psychonaut from Three Taverns Brewing, which is right here. Cheers to Thursday. So I'm gonna just get going. Uh, Even though, like you said, Rich, I probably would let the chili go a little longer if this was real life. It's still gonna be tasty though. So I'm gonna put some cheese first. Chili looking real good. And I'm gonna put some chili down. And I'm just being careful, like my instinct is to just really overdo it. Always. So I'm trying not to do that. Oftentimes the first version of what I make isn't the one that necessarily goes on the photos because the first time I kind of do too much. The second time I get it right. And this is great because I'll have enough chili to shoot my photos with this tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna call it with that. Good for me. Just making sure everything's all set here. Okay, cool. All right, great. Now, some cheese, but keeping it just light enough so that we're gonna still see a lot of chili. And then I'm literally just gonna take the hot dogs and put 2 on each right there and press them in a little bit. This is so funny to me. Uh, yes. That's probably good. Barely, just a little more. So now it like looks a little blended in and not just hot dog straight up on top. And then the slightest bit more cheese. All right, so that's going in the oven. We're almost preheated, good enough. And if I need to later, I will broil it just to give it a little extra oomph. So now we're gonna do the toppings for the pizza. Whenever I make pizza at home, I try really hard to have something that goes on after it cooks. It's something that I feel like you get at like a nicer pizza restaurant, but it's something that a lot of people at home, in my opinion, forget when you're making a good pizza. Hot dogs are cooked when you buy them, so I left them on top so they could like get some of It's all going to be warmed up fully because the chili's so hot too. So I suppose you could like char the hot dogs if you wanted to. I think a lot of people might want to, and maybe when I'm making it later. But I want to see how they come out like this, if they get any color on top. And I might broil it. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. Great. All right, so 2 toppings. One is fresh serrano peppers. 3 toppings. One is these chopped chives. One is fresh serrano peppers, and one is like a sour cream sauce. Very simple, like a crema, I guess. I have to clean my knife a little so that these cuts look fresh. And I got serrano instead of jalapeno for this because one, as I was saying earlier, is like jalapenos are not even spicy anymore. But 2 is because jalapenos are so huge and thick. And like these serrano cuts look a lot nicer on the pizza in the end. I was thinking of pickling these, or like do a light pickle, or use just store-bought pickled. But I think the fresh is going to add nice fresh flavor. I guess like a quick pickle would give you that fresh flavor too. So again, this is the first draft, and I will decide based on how it goes today. All right, so perfect. I got some sour cream here. And to this, I'm going to grate a piece of garlic in. A couple. But you don't want to do too much when it's raw. It's kind of aggressive garlic. But these are small, like I said, really small pieces of garlic. Great. And then I have a lemon. I think the half lemon's probably enough. All right, that's nice. And now I have the food blogger special of squeeze bottle. This is a good visual for YouTube here. This is also like a really large squeeze bottle, but I have a smaller one, but I thought this would be good. Great. I should add some salt to this. I'm gonna check on these. Things are looking good. Will be even better. And I think I will finish with a broiler. Now let me clear this area a bit. So that I can serve them up right on here. Great. So yeah, I'm going to post this on Tuesday. And I chose to do this because I think it's like opening day. Today, tomorrow, Tuesday, I don't know, this week. And I always like to do a hot dog recipe around the time of MLB opening day. So that's when the time of year when you want a hot dog real bad. The broiling is coming along perfectly. RIP to her character in White Lotus. Missed her this season. Was that too spoilery? Icon. So yeah, the broiling, to answer Rich's question earlier, is like actually getting the hot dogs charred. So maybe I don't need to cook them ahead of time. Maybe I don't. I guess we'll find out. People will have opinions on that, as always, when I end up posting the recipe for real. So, ooh. All right, literally 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna hit them with the, oh, that's what I need, is mustard. I knew this sauce was missing something. So like the sour cream is for the chili, and the mustard is for the hot dog. And I hope I don't burn anything while I'm doing this. Just a little mustard, I think, is all I need. A subtle hint of mustard flavor. All right. I know you guys were patiently waiting. So I'm thrilled about this. I will say my vision was like more of the full slice of bread, and the hot dogs were like going, not just like two perfect little hot dogs next to each other, but like going up and down the bread. But I didn't want to be wasteful for today, and then just make it again tomorrow. But these still are like hitting my vision, or what it was or what it should be. I think I'm gonna go sour cream first. You guys getting dizzy yet? A little? A little dizzy. Got it. I tried to sell this idea to one of my recent sponsors, but they passed on it. I understand that. I understand that the explanation maybe wouldn't fit the vision. It had to be done to explain, to be explained. Had to be done to be explained. But yeah, this is nice. Let's see here. No, I don't think it needs those, Rich. It's it's got a lot going on. Yeah, there's chives on there. Thank you, Rich. I didn't think you'd think it looked amazing with all the sour cream and hot dogs. This is so good. It's like pure trash, though. I mean that in the best way. It's like an elevated version of like what I would make coming home to my parents' basement when I was like in high school or something. But yeah, it's amazing. My only thoughts are like when I take the photos, I need it to look a little more like bread. But I think if I use the full bread, if I hollow it out a little more, it will stand up, have a little more height to it, and look like a French bread pizza. A little bit more. Doesn't need that much though. This is awesome. And I think the type of chili I made was perfect because it balances between like a thicker, hearty chili and the thin coney dog style chili. So, anyways, this has been great, like always. We're hitting about an hour, which is what I had hoped for. So, thanks for watching as always, and cheers. And I'll see you hopefully in about 2 weeks for another recipe. Thank you.